Mic on.
I now call the Hampton County Council meeting to order for October 20th, 2025 at 6 o'clock p.m. Our first order of business is the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance. The invocation will be conducted by myself, and also the Pledge of Allegiance with the audience in unison. So if everyone would please stand if you can. Let's bow our heads. Most gracious Heavenly Father, thank you for allowing us to see another beautiful day that you have bestowed upon us. And Heavenly Father, as we look at the county business, as we look at how to go about making the services available to the people of Hampton County, we do this with the mind that we are doing it to make sure that everyone benefits from all the services that we have to provide. And Heavenly Father, as we do this in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
If you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Our next order of business is item number 3, approval of the agenda for Hampton County Council, October 20, 2025 meeting agenda.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, when I requested for executive session to discuss personnel matter, I did not realize that the county administrator would not be here tonight. So I asked that we amend the agenda to remove executive session until we can have that meeting with the county administrator.
Second.
A motion has been made and has been properly seconded. Any discussion? If none, all those who are on approval of the Hampton County Council October 20th, 2025 meeting agenda with the item number 9.1, discussion of personnel matters, county equipment being removed off the agenda for this evening, show your approval by raising your right hand. Anyone opposed? Anyone abstain? We're now on item number 4, approval of minutes, meeting minutes from October 6, 2025, Hampton County Council meeting. What's the pleasure of council?
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve October 6th meeting.
Second.
A motion has been made and has been properly second. Any further discussion? If none, all those who are in approval of the meeting minutes from October 6, 2025 meeting, show your approval by raising your right hand. Anyone opposed? Anyone abstain? I did say October 6, 2025, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I just want to be sure. We're now on item number 5, public comments. Just want to make note that our public comments has a maximum of 5 minutes in length.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm very pleased to be with you, and I came sharing some very creative talent that is in Hampton County. They posted this little ditty that I think is worth sharing with you and also with the viewers on Facebook. So, I just hope that I have it queued up.
Closer to the mic.
This one's for the people. Ha! Hampton County going broke, where the money at? 5 million missing, can't get an answer back. Yeah. Hampton County, we see you. We count every dollar missing, every lie you hit behind the walls. This one's for the people. Ha! Hampton County going broke, where the money at? 5 million missing, can't get an answer back. Yeah. Hampton County, we see you. We count every dollar missing, every lie you hit behind the walls. This one's for the people. Ha! Hampton County going broke, where the money at? 5 million missing, can't get an answer back. Yeah. Hampton County, we see you. We count every dollar missing, every lie you hit behind the walls. This one's for the people. Ha! Hampton County going broke, where the money at? 5 million missing.
Public comments.
And I think that just repeats. I had something really interesting happen to me today, and I thought, you know, it's kind of a nice parallel to what's going on in the world today. I live on MC Highway, and right in front of my driveway is a double yellow line. And as I was preparing to turn into my home, this either a very ignorant person about the highway rules who didn't know that a double yellow line means you can't pass. Well, he started passing me, and there's an oncoming car. And I braked hard just to give him the space to get into a safety zone. If I had not done that, there would have been a 4-car collision. Now, those are rules and regulations of the road. We have rules and regulations as far as the government is concerned and concerning finances and how they're spent. And a lot of people have come before you with excellent advice, telling you that, you know, if you follow this procedure, this protocol, that we'd hopefully get out of the mess that we were in. Unfortunately, we're not getting out of the mess we're in. We're getting deeper and deeper and deeper. So that's the parallel. There are rules and regulations or laws that protect us and also protect our finances, and those have been disregarded in a big way. And it upsets me. It upsets a whole lot of people who are out there on Facebook paying real close attention to what's going on. And what's going on is just criminal. It is. So I've always heard you can't borrow yourself out of debt. I've heard some people out in California talking about the problems that they have with finances. And some of them say,
1 minute, Ms. Kelly.
I'm sorry,
1 minute left.
some of them say that when governments are in trouble, they have to start cutting services. I hope we're not coming to that point, because we're already seeing problems with our EMS and other services that are in the county. Thank you for your time. I know you won't take it into consideration because you never have in the past, but I'll leave you with that, and hopefully you will see fit to maybe re-examine the course that we are on and find a way to right the ship. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for your comment, Ms. Kelly. That's it. Next, we have item number 6.1, proclamation, Red Ribbon Week. Ashley Lawton. Is Ashley Lawton here? Okay.
My son is actually a representative. He is the Division II Young Marine of the Year, and so he will be accepting it on behalf of the Young Marine program.
Okay. If council would please join me up front with the proclamation.
Can I decline this picture because of
Okay, you can, Councilman Jinx. Okay.
Okay.
Young Marine, you look like a Marine.
Decline this picture because I didn't participate in the work.
Is that right here?
You look like a
Do you know
Marine.
it? Good, good, great, doing fine. Proclamation, State of South Carolina, County of Hampton. Whereas communities across America has been plagued by the numerous problems associated with illicit drug use and those that traffic in them. And whereas there is hope in winning the war on drugs, and that hope lies in education and drug demand reduction, coupled with the hard work and determination of organizations such as the Young Marines of the Marine Corps League to foster a healthy, drug-free lifestyle. And whereas government and community leaders know that citizens' support is one of the most effective tools in the effort to reduce the use of illicit drugs in our communities, and whereas the red ribbon has been chosen as a symbol commemorating the work of, and I guess I pronounced this gentleman's name correct, Enrique Kiki Camarillo, okay, a Drug Enforcement Administration agent who was murdered in the line of duty and represents the belief that one person can make a difference. And whereas the Red Ribbon Campaign was established by Congress in 1988 to encourage a drug-free lifestyle and involvement in the drug prevention and reduction efforts, and whereas October 23rd through the 31st has been designated National Red Ribbon Week, which encourages Americans to wear a red ribbon to show their support for a drug-free environment. Now therefore, be it resolved that Hampton County Council do hereby proclaim October 23rd through the 31st as Red Ribbon Week in Hampton County, South Carolina, and urge all citizens to join in on this special observance. This proclamation was signed by members of Hampton County Council, Roy Hollingsworth, Chairman, Darren Williams, Vice Chairman, Jordan J.J. Jinks, Council Member, Marvin Love, Council Member, Dennis Thompson Jr., Council Member, and attested by Clerk to Council, Teresa Orr. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Good deal.
Sure.
Thank you, gentlemen. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
God bless you, Jim.
Thank you.
Pleasure to meet you, young man. God bless you. How you doing, sir? Hey, yeah.
We're now on item number 7, ordinances. 7.1, third reading of ordinances. We have none this evening. On 7.2, second reading of ordinances. A second reading of an ordinance to amend the fiscal year 2026 budget to reflect the first quarter budget changes. Anyone to speak on that?
Good evening. This is the first quarterly budget review. The The budget was approved on June 16th of 2025. Within this budget, it provides for a $2 an hour employee raise starting January of 2026. It is a balanced budget, which is by law required in the state of South Carolina. And as a part of the budget, a quarterly reviews are required. Section 11 of Ordinance 2025-004 for the fiscal compliance, it states there will be a quarterly review of each budget for the departments, which funds will be allocated. If available, they may be reallocated by the county administrator to cover any shortfalls or unanticipated needs. Hampton County fiscal year 2024 audit finding 2024-002, the financial health of the general fund. It's imperative the county's general fund have sufficient fund balance for operations. Therefore, we are conducting the first audit for fiscal year 2026. Malden and Jenkins, our auditors, said that we needed to improve our financial management. The number of audit findings was reduced from the prior year from 7 to 3. We prioritized the year-end reconciliation process, leveraging financial report tools so we can have improved accuracy and timely reporting. Reduced the general fund deficit from 2.4 million to 0.7 million. We have continually updated financial policies and strengthened internal controls. That is an ongoing process. The ground rules we're using from the approved budget, internal realignment of existing funds. So the overall budget number has not changed. We're asking for budget adjustments from external funds is a last resort. So what we did is we reallocated within a department's budget as much as possible, using only a few examples of where we had to cross department budgetary lines to find additional funds.
Miss, if you don't mind, can you go too far? Could you repeat what you just said, please, about crossing over? Repeat that, please.
Okay, so within the department's budgets, a lot of the realignments, if we needed to move line items, we did it mostly within a department's budget. So an example would be if they took something from, let's say, workers' compensation, and they moved it to office supplies. So the bottom line number of their budget didn't change for the most part for most of the departments. We just reallocated within the budget that council approved on June 16th. Now, there were a few budgets that we had to make external changes across funds, where that's why we had to bring it to council for your approval. We will give you the examples of those. We were able to accomplish most of our changes within existing department budgets. Does that help?
Yes, ma'am.
This is just a page showing what was approved in the budget on June 16th. These are the numbers for the county operations. This includes the school district and the special revenue funds on the bottom. So those are outside of the general fund. The revised revenue is net zero. Once again, the overall revenue number did not change. Here are the changes within the revenue line items. So the property tax fund that's the local option sales tax, there's an increase of $691,362. The revenue part of the local options sales tax, there's an increase of $348,938. All this is, I'm going to attribute this to enhanced collections from our new treasurer. Now on the next line, you'll see a state salary supplement. There is a deed clerk position that was not filled. So the clerk of court gave us permission to reduce her budget by that supplement for the deed clerk. That's 11,500. Building permit fees, there was an increase of revenue due to changes made within the department of 311,499. The proceeds of debt, that was the TAN, that was removed. The fee of lieu and of taxes, that revenue increased by 459,701.
Excuse me, so the clerk of court is not going to fill that position?
No, not in this fiscal year.
Okay.
The net,
The
Yes, sir.
1.8 million on the TAN was that from, is this for this year's fiscal?
this fiscal year, so what it is that was a line item that was listed as revenue, it's removed as revenue, but these are other actual revenue line items that will take this place. And the increase in revenues are from enhanced collections and more timely recording of the revenues.
So they're saying that we would not have a TAN?
No, that's not saying this is, that we won't have a TAN. What it's saying is it's taking it out of the budget as revenue.
Oh,
So we're
that's
just
revenue.
replacing it with other revenue.
Gotcha.
So you remove one thing and put the other in its place.
Got it.
So that's why it's a net zero. And the budget, the overall budget line items stay the same, the total budget amount stays the same.
Okay.
This next page is an explanation of how we were able to make the changes. Once again, it's our treasurer. We have a new treasurer installed in July. So there's weekly reconciliations with the finance team and the county administrator, posting of revenues as soon as received, and establishment and enforcement of internal controls, reporting structure, oversight, and we're still continually working on internal controls. So one of the foundational part of monitoring and the whole process is timeliness. By them posting everything on a timely manner, we are able to see the additional collections, and that 700,000 is due to, that's from the monthly distribution and the supplement that we received for June. So the TAN is now treated as a financial tool, not a reoccurring revenue, so you'll see it's TAN receivable. So we're just moved it into a different line item, and only the interest is carried on the books because it's an in and out, so the net effect of it is zero. Now, these are pages showing the actual changes in revenue. If you notice, our revenue projections for real estate taxes has not changed. That's why the change is in the middle, but you see nothing has changed on this first page. The next page reflects the changes in the local options sales tax, that's property tax fund, which is the tax relief part, and the second line is the revenue part, and that's where you'll see an increase of, you'll see that change in 1,040,300. The grant changes on the next, on the bottom, there's no change in those grant projections. On this next section in category D, you'll see that state supplement I mentioned from the clerk of court's office that she elected not to take because of the D clerk with position that's not filled.
Excuse me, I'm glad you went back there because I wrote that down. So what is going to happen with that?
So it's not being filled this fiscal year. That's
Oh.
not to say that it won't be filled in future fiscal years. She just gave us permission to take it out this one time. So this is a one-time event, so the next budget, it may be back in there.
So it's nothing, so the money, so the finance for that position is nothing's going to be done with that? You're just taking it out?
It's not, that's right. So the supplement is not being requested. There was if you notice on the bottom, there's an increase in building permit fees. There was a change to the fees. So there are we have a higher level of fees being collected this year due to the changes. And you'll see on the top of this next page where the TAN was removed, and that it is proceeds of debt is the right thing to call it, but we're now having it removed, and it's a liability, not a revenue. The remaining line item is fee in lieu of tax, and that revenue increase is $459,701. Once again, these changes have to do with enhanced collections from the Treasury Department. Exhibit B is just another view of that change, and that's the rest of the line items in this total fines and fees section. But that 459,701 still reflects the changes in the fee and lieu. The next section, you'll see category H and I. There is no change, but if you look at the bottom numbers, the total revenue is still the same number. So that was the budget that was passed June 16th. The revised budget is still the same overall number, just with the changes that we specified. This next page reflects the changes with the changes within existing budgets within the county administrator's authority. So with the auditor, you'll see a change of 10,800. Revenue generating, what they're doing is they're adding a part-time person, and that person will generate the revenues to cover the expenses for that position. That person will research the homestead exemption to make any changes, and if, for exemptions that no longer exist, making sure those come off the tax roll. That exemption is on the first $50,000 of real estate taxes, and once a person is deceased or no longer at that residence, that exemption is removed for that property. That's the research they'll do, and so far she's found a significant number, I'll say at more than 50 changes have made. This person will work specifically on that to look for those types of changes. So that'll be their primary job, which generates revenue. The buildings and grounds, this additional 10,000 is for the transfer of salary to acting Public Works Director. Next, you'll see the building inspector. There's no change there. The administration, anything that's within that budget, anything that you see that's not highlighted, there is any adjustments were made within that bottom line budget, so those numbers do not change. Once again, you'll see the clerk of court, so this page outlines any changes to that specific department. And then you'll see Public Works, and the $10,000 was moved from Public Works to Buildings and Grounds, so that's between those two departments. So the next changes are the changes that have to be approved by council. For Hampton countywide costs, we'd like to transfer from the contingency funds to the detention center for operations. There is a shortfall in that budget, and it's just not going to make it without these changes. So we're asking that for the detention center that you add $115,700. There were some unexpected costs that we have to, and challenges that we have to overcome. So there's an officer salary adjustment. The changes had to make from changing the budgetary salaries due to changing their hours from 80 hours to 86 hours. This is an issue that was brought before council, but this is this would be official action, moving this, moving the revenue, moving the expenses to that line item from the Hampton countywide costs with your permission. Then there's also medical services. The previous contract was canceled. We have to have a medical doctor and nurse, miscellaneous health services, and then increase the contractual services for meals. This next page shows a reflection of where we would like to take the money from. That's the Hampton countywide costs. So if you look at the revised budget, the number goes from $2,632,693 So the operational cost is, excuse me, it was changed. We're gonna reduce the budget by 115,000. The revised amount will be 2,517,693. If you notice on the expenditures, you'll see the fiscal year, the actuals through September 30th, 2025 are on this report. So that's the September financials. Next to the approved budget, the variance is the change, and then you'll see the revised budget at the end. Council, do you have any questions? So what you're seeing is the original budget on the left-hand side. So if you can see, I'm gonna point for it's not, well, it's hard to see. So for the public, this line here, if you go, this line here, it's up there, yes, okay, there we go. It's not very good, but you'll see there's the department, then you'll see in the pink, that is the budget that was passed on June 16th. The next column are the actuals through September 30th, and the variance, this is the difference between the budget and the actual what's been expended to date. This is what's left. This change is what's being removed, and the revised budget is all the way on the right.
Question,
Yes, sir.
Chair.
Yeah, go ahead.
How many sets of eyes we
Feel
had?
free to ask the
Yes.
finance director any questions that you may have.
How many different sets of eyes we had on this revising the budget?
So the whole finance team,
Yes.
the whole finance team reviewed the changes, but each department was met with, there was a team from each department. All the departments met with Michelle, myself. We went through all the things that are going on in their existing budget, any challenges or things that have come up, but each department had an opportunity to go through their budget. We looked at the trial balance, we looked at the budget to actuals for this first quarter to see if there was anything that was far out of line, or if there was anything that came up. So each department got a chance to review it with the finance team. Then the finance team that got together as a whole, taking notes, looking at any concerns, trying to address the concerns or things that might have come up, or things that just there were cost changes that were beyond control. So every department was met with. Then the whole finance team looked at the changes.
Each department is in agreement with the final numbers.
Yes. To the best of my knowledge. To the best of my knowledge. This was discussed with them. Any of the changes, when we went over the changes with them, we asked them that was there anything that they had concerns about, anything that was coming up. They brought to us anything that might have not been covered by the original amounts, and any changes that needed to happen that were not a part of the original budget. So this was discussed with them. They brought it to us. We went over that and saw and tried to figure out what could be done based on what they felt their needs were and where they need to be going forward.
So you said each department lost my train. Oh, they were able to start spending again, each department, on August the 15th. Has that been frozen since they were able to start back purchasing on August the 15th?
So, okay, so when we're talking about frozen, I know there was a delay in expenses.
Okay, it was, when I say frozen, I meant that there was no spending from April until August. So they were able to start spending again. Each department was able to start spending again on August the 15th. Since they've been allowed to start spending again, has there been any stoppage with them being able to spend within their budget?
No,
Ma'am?
not really. Well, the thing is when it comes to, so it depends. Let me rephrase that. So the spending has been on necessary costs. There are some limitations due to a couple of things. We're still in our dry spell. We're in the period where limited revenues are coming in. So the spending has been curtailed based on that, the revenue cycle. Most of our revenues come in between December and March. Right now, with the limited revenues, the spending is limited based on cash flow. It hasn't been cut out at all, like completely. Repairs are being done. Things that need to be purchased are happening. So vehicles getting repaired, ambulances, maintenance is getting done. But when it comes to cash flow, we are concentrating on needs first, based on cash flow.
What about bills?
Yes, bills are still getting paid.
On time?
I will not say that they're all getting paid on time. We're doing our best to catch up. Typically, when you're behind, it takes time. It takes up to 3 years to get from beyond past due bills.
I mean, but the ones, are they being prioritized?
They are being prioritized. Everything that we said that council was notified that would be done took place that day, and we are prioritizing it, and we have a list that we're following. But yes, they are being prioritized.
Are the agencies aware of this?
We have been.
The agencies that we're behind on paying, are they being notified? Are they been given any timeline to when? Yes, ma'am.
So we are in communication with agencies, trying to work things out to make sure that we can have a plan to go forward.
All right, let me ask you a question. When last have you been in, to your knowledge, when last have we been in touch with the Public Defender's Office?
I'm not sure about that.
Okay.
I would have to inquire on that and get back to you.
Okay. So you're saying that they was able to spend, but now it's like we're prioritizing because necessities.
Absolutely.
You know, that's with elected official budget as well as department head budgets.
Yes, sir. So, and that's where maintenance is prioritized, no matter which budget is, what budget it comes from.
Anything else?
Yes.
Oh,
I was just waiting to see if there was additional
Okay.
questions. I think I'm clicking.
See, Mr. had a question. So the finance team consists of you and Ms. Gatson. Is that it?
No, not just me and Ms. Gadsden. So we were the initial people that went over that. The finance team is myself, Ms. Gadsden, that is the treasurer, that is Monica Woods, the CPA, Dr. Mincy, and Angela Dobson. That's the whole finance team. So there are at least 6 of us. Okay, this next page shows that's just a subtotal of everything that's coming out. You'll see the changes in the clerk of court. You'll see that increase in the auditor's budget for that part-time position. And you'll see the change in the sheriff's department. So that's moving from line items to the sheriff's cops grant from the sheriff's department. So that's still within departmental change. You'll see that $115,700 going to the detention center. that moved from Public Works to Buildings and Grounds. And that is the end of the changes. Does council have any additional questions?
Do council have any additional questions for our finance director at this time? Ms. Lewis, thank you very much for that report. Council has now heard the second reading of an ordinance to amend the fiscal year 2026 budget to reflect the first quarter budget changes. What is the pleasure of council?
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the first reading of the amendment of the
Second reading.
second reading of the fiscal year 2026 budget.
A motion has been made. Is there a second?
Second.
A motion has been made. Has been properly second. Any further discussion? If none, all those who want to approve of the second reading of an ordinance to amend the fiscal year 2026 budget to reflect the first quarter budget changes, show your approval by raising your right hand. Anyone opposed? Anyone abstain? We're now on item number 7.3. First reading of an ordinance. A, first reading of an ordinance adopting the Hampton County Airport schedule of rates and charges and approving a standard airport hangar license use agreement, providing for administration and others matters related thereto. How you doing, Mr. Gillespie?
Hello, good evening, Council. Christopher Inglesi, your Deputy County Administrator. This was deferred from the last meeting, and it's an updated version based on advice from the County Attorney. So before you is request for approval of first reading of the updated hangar rates and an updated hangar user agreement. This has been a several months long project, including contributions from our consultant, Mays Hour, and the Airport Commission, multiple meetings and discussions. So it's now before you. We're kind of to the point where we'd like to get it adopted so we can give everyone notice by December 1st, so they have 30 days notice before it goes into effect in January. So we still have time to do that, the 3 meetings that are on the books. But the biggest changes were that we haven't had an increase in hangar rents for the last few years. So rent is proposed to go up from $275 to $285. And then there's an automatic 2% increase annually that is also included in there, and that was not in the previous lease agreement. And there were some clarifications and some other minor edits that were non-substantive. So we got a lot of input from our consultant, at least 3 meetings with the Airport Commission, including a special meeting where all the issues were dived into on a deep dive. And so with the advice of council, we've removed a section, and that's the document that's before you tonight for first reading. Be happy to answer any questions.
And this at the recommendation also of the Airport Commissioners.
Yes, sir. They did, just to be clear, their recommended document that came before you last time has been modified pursuant to advice of council. So what's before you is their recommendation minus that section that county attorneys advised us to take out.
Okay. Any questions for our Deputy Administrator?
Did you have anything to add? Do you have anything to add to that?
No, I concur with what Chris said.
Any other questions? Okay. What is the pleasure of council? Thank you. Mr. Gillespie. What is the pleasure of council?
This will be first reading, sir.
Yes, it's first reading.
Make a motion that we approve the first reading of the ordinance adopting Hampton County Airport scheduling and rate changes.
Second.
A motion has been made and has been properly second. Any final discussion? If none, all those on approval of the first reading of an ordinance adopting the Hampton County Airport schedule of rates and charges and approving a standard airport hangar license use agreement, providing for administration and other matters related thereto, show you approve by raising your right hand. Anyone oppose? Anyone abstain? We're now on item number 8, council briefing. 8.1, chairman's update. I have no update at this time. I would now start on my right with Councilman Love.
Just a couple announcements. Please remember this week, the Hampton County Fair. It's called the Hampton County Fair, but it actually takes place in the town of Bronson, Thursday, October the 23rd through Saturday, October the 26th. And also the National Faith in Blue, sponsored by the Hampton County Sheriff Department, that was postponed on Saturday, October 11th, has been rescheduled for this Sunday, October 26th, at 4 p.m. at Lacey Park in Hampton. That's all I have.
Councilman Thompson.
Mr. Chairman, I don't have anything.
Councilman Williams.
Nothing, Chairman.
Councilman James.
No, sir, Mr. Love covered it.
We're now on item number 8.3, county attorney's update.
Mr. Chairman, council, I submitted a report via email earlier today. I have nothing to add to that.
8.4, clerk's update. Item number 9 has been removed for executive session. We're now at item number 10, adjournment. What's the pleasure of council?
So moved.
Second.
Motion has been made, have it properly second. In discussion? If none, all those who are approved that we adjourn, show your approval by raising your right hand. Anyone opposed? Anyone abstain? We're now adjourned. Thank you very much.